warm welcome to you wherever it is you're joining us from around the world. This is Enterprise Weekend on Enterprise TV. I am Henry Igwebike. In a bit, we'll be going to our newspaper headlines to see what we have for today, and right after that will be our main conversation for this morning. As we get everything all put together for you, please do well to visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com, and also like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. With me in the studios today to make sense and peruse on what we have on our newspaper headlines today is Barrister Evans Ufeli. He is a barrister at law and also a public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you.
Welcome to Enterprise Weekend. All right. So quickly, let's start off our newspaper review today with the Saturday Vanguard newspaper. And the banner headline here says, "How illegal miners wreak havoc on Nigeria. Investigation, Russian-Chinese deep in the illegal business." And also we have on the top strip of the same newspaper, court orders the federal government to reopen probe trial of killers of Dele Giwa. Orders the journalist. The federal government secures $30 billion investment commitment, and that's coming from one of our ministers. And also we have it here, NLC declares two-day protest. A barrister, so let's go to your area of forte, and we'd love you to bring us up to speed where we left with the case of Dele Giwa, and what you think it's going to be excavated now with the court ordering for a reopening of the probe.
Yes, it is important that that case be reopened because if you look at our trajectory, the reason there have been many other killings after his was because his was not even resolved. Okay, that is Dele Giwa. After the killing of Dele Giwa, there were many other killings that followed up until even before this present Fourth Republic, where you have the killing of Funshaw Williams, Harry Marshall, so many of them, you understand, Bola Ige, so many of them, you know, were also killed in like manner. Dele Giwa's one was through a letter bomb, others were through different kind of assassinations and all that. And under the law, time does not run against the state in criminal prosecution, meaning that a criminal matter cannot be statute bar.
What does that mean?
So what statute bar? You know, for example, in a civil case where, for example, somebody defame you, you have to bring an action before the court within 6 years.
Okay.
Yes. If you don't bring an action to the court within 6 years, it means the matter is statute bar.
Oh, okay.
You can no longer enforce whatever it is, the grievance. You understand? But in criminal prosecution, what if it's a crime that was committed against you, which means under criminal prosecution, the offense is against the state, and time does not run against the state in crime or criminal actions. Okay, so even if after 300 years you can bring an action, that was why the Kenyan lawyer went to court, to the International Criminal Court, brought an action against the Roman government for killing Jesus illegally. You understand? So because even after 2,000 years, time does not run against the state or institution. You can bring action at any time. You understand? So the Federal High Court saying, okay, we'll reopen this case. Let us have this case heard and all that, investigation and all that. Some persons have asked me yesterday, because on another station I talked about is that what about if the person who killed him is late now?
Exactly.
Okay, so I thought that that offense was not committed by one person. There was a conspiracy. Okay, of course, the letter bomb couldn't have been manufactured by the person who sent it. Somebody also was given the parcel to take to him. So there are chains of persons.
Okay.
Okay, but it's not for us to, you know, to project or forecast whether they are dead or alive. It's for the state, the sovereign, to do what is necessary. Because if you have all this unresolved, in fact, that we are here today, you have bandits, you have insurgents, you have kidnappers, It's an accumulation of the failings of the state being unable to resolve crime or to punish offenders adequately. That is why we're even talking about a lot of issues. So if the state is failing consistently in that area, you cannot expect people not to be emboldened to commit crime the more because they feel they will get away with it. So it is important. It's a good call the Federal High Court made there, that this matter must be resolved and it should be reopened.
So what do you expect, or what do you think Nigerians should expect moving forward, especially on this particular case?
Yeah, what they should expect is that the case will go on. The investigators should continue investigation and ensure that they uncover the truth and prosecute whoever is linked or connected to it. Okay, go back to the case does not mean just go out anybody you see, you arrest the person and prosecute the person. And because whatever you are doing to whoever the investigation is traced to, also have a right under the law to defend himself with adequate time and facility provided by the law to do so. So the fact that say go and reopen the case does not mean now we want to look for one person that we are going to convict on this. No, it doesn't work like that.
But with your experience, have we had such a case where in a very long duration we're able to come to a resolution and a conviction?
Yes, just recently, the man that shot Tupac.
No, I'm talking about Nigeria.
No, hold on. You told me experience.
Yes.
Let me start from the West.
Okay.
The man that shot Tupac was arrested not too long ago. I think he's over 70 now, or going to his 80s right now. Okay, and you see that in Nigeria, we've had situations where crime, I can't pinpoint anyone now, but I know in our laws, we've had issues where crimes were committed a long time. And it got to a point where they're able to get the offenders. I can't pinpoint anyone now, but I know that there are. The case of the Alu 4 took 8 years. True. Took 8 years before they were all convicted. Okay, and we also have some other examples I may not remember, but I know that it is better late than never. Yes, the government must do something about it.
All right. So let's move on to our next daily, and this is coming from the Nation newspaper, or Saturday Nation newspaper, and the banner headline here says, food scarcity, pressure on states to rev up intervention. And on the right there says, NLC to protest high cost of living, February 27 and 28. Custom impounds food trucks going to Niger Republic, and 6 Cameroonians bound cement truck seized in Adamawa, and FCCP seeks popular Abuja store over deceptive pricing. And also on the top strip of the same newspaper, have Nigeria attracted $30 billion investment portfolio in 9 months, and that's coming from the minister. On the right of that same story, we have job centers to be created nationwide, and also we have adversity union spur for war over payment of withheld ASU salaries. 1 killed as police nab abductors of Ekiti pupils and teachers. Barrister, let's take a look at the issue of food scarcity. Just, I think yesterday, we had some agencies that went around, closing up shops that they said were hoarding food. And, of course, it drew national and, pressure from the public that were asking themselves, why should we always be reactive to issues than being proactive about them? Do you think going about locking up shops of traders, it's good enough, or is the right policy coming from the federal government?
Well, I don't think it's the right policy. It's very reactionary. Why don't you make an enabling environment for food to be all over the place? There are a lot of factors that militate against the movement of food to all locations that would have reduced the price. First, why don't you get the police off the road? Those ones that stop trucks, bringing yams from the north and all that, they stop them and stop them heavily. By the time they get to their destination, they add up to it. There's so many persons are panic buying. I discussed with a friend yesterday that was driving up and down, and I asked him, what were you doing yesterday? He said he went to get rice. I said, why? Why should you get rice? He said, the way things are going on, that very soon, there will be no rice. And I asked him, how much did you buy? He said, 70,000 for one bag. So I said, but in December here, we purchased it for about 45,000 or thereabouts. So it is not just the government, the people to control. There's panic buying. Some persons who have this would are hoarding it to let price rise. You understand? And for those who are hoarding what they have, the federal government may not be completely wrong for, asking them to get stuffs out, okay? But the human factor between the government, the people, the producers, there are a lot of factors that are involved. So I think what the federal government should do is to first of all, let us see this grain that they have released. You see this grain that they release in the newspaper. It's not, you see, the problem we have is the federal government keep coming up with fake solutions. Fake solutions to pretend like they have a hold of what they are doing. You understand? They say they've released how many metric tons of grains? To who? To where? If you have released grain, why go to lock-up shops that people are hoarding food stuff and all that? You have released grain now, so what concern you? Yeah, you should have showed those people locking up shops that all those things you lock there, the price will fall for that because we have released grain. You released grain yesterday, tomorrow you went and started locking shops. You see the contradiction. You tell you that they are lying. They don't release any grain. They don't have grains to even release. So, but you keep saying that. You see that when you vote this kind of government and they come with this kind of trick, you want to outplay 200 million people. Where in the world does it happen? 200 million people. You don't even have sense. You want to outplay them. You want to corner 200 million people. It's not done like that. This government was never prepared for governance. That is why you have things like this. Otherwise, there's a sense in which if you come to my shop as federal government to lock me, I'll go to court. Because you have no right to tell me what I will do with whatever I have. That is one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is that if we want things to be smooth, people who hoard things ordinarily should not do so. They should sell it. But if the federal government want to weaken them with whatever they hoard, let the federal government intervene in practical sense.
By supplying more than enough?
Yes, in practical sense, from local government to local government. You know you have 774 local governments. Unleash it on the local governments. Let's see how far they will go with those things they are hoarding. Immediately that happens, they will bring out everything they are hoarding, because then the price will have crashed. They will be at loss. So there will be supply everywhere. But what we have is a different issue. So I don't think... and look at the contradiction. You said you have floated the naira, you have floated currency, the dollar and all that. So why are you now holding... So why are you now talking about people holding this thing? Why don't you allow them to hold it so that the concept of demand and supply will play its part? So there's too much contradiction to it.
All right, so you did mention our government using or applying superficial solutions to real-time issues. Now we have a story here of Nigeria attracting $30 billion investment portfolio in 9 months, Minister, and he's equally saying that job centers to be created nationwide. Is that another example of solving
Nigeria is attractive
on the national police?
But the truth is on the face value of that, Nigeria attracting, meaning it is a continuous sense. Nigeria attracting, it's a present continuous tense. Okay, so it is a process they're trying to tell us, but most times, at the end of the day, this is not a cheering news. It's propaganda. Yes, it's propaganda because I don't believe that story. The reason I don't believe it is because you don't have the environment. You have not created the environment that will attract that kind of money. You have not created that environment. So Don't tell us that there will be jobs here. That's what they have been saying before the election now, that they will attract investment. Is it different from this? They will. After how many months? They will attract. So, even when the president talked about it the other time, the same thing he said in April last year. You understand? So, we are still having this problem of not knowing where we are going to. We don't know where we are going to. So
could this be a hint to the president not having the right team? Because I would remember that Olusegun Obasanjo had fantastic people around him. Goodluck Jonathan equally had awesome people around him, and they were able to do lots of things in the nation. Is it a case of them not having the right people?
No, it's not as if they don't have the right people. I'll tell you what is wrong with this government. For 8 years, the Buhari's government destroyed this economy completely. There was nothing left.
Really?
Yes, destroyed it. This government came in. Instead of it to now look at the damage done and start building the blocks from the breadth of those damages, it widened the damages, it removed subsidy thoughtlessly.
But
that's what happened. That's why they are stranded now.
Yes. Well, let's assume, right? Let's assume that Buhari had continued for the next 4 years. Do you think it would have been this bad?
It would have been worse.
This bad?
Yes.
He wouldn't have been able to manage it just like he managed it.
No, Buhari did not manage anything. He was unaware of anything that was going on. He was not aware. Look at the massive corruption that went under him that this government is grappling with. And look at the corruption that have, started in this government.
But at that time, the inflation wasn't this high, in spite of the corruption.
There was inflation.
But not this bad.
It might not be not this bad because the government was still paying subsidy at least from the point of information to the public. The government was still paying subsidy. Okay, so and. That there was no tension and panic like this, because this one, taking away subsidy, took us to, like, you have to buy things 300% the price you bought them before that time. So it's not a way to manage an economy. When the president did not provide for subsidy in this 2024 budget, that's President Buhari.
Yeah.
All you need to, sorry, in 2023 budget rather, all he needed to do was to ensure that that subsidy is not removed. It's for the government to keep paying it. That is the only way you have one common factor that will determine the cost of living across both the poor and the rich.
Very true.
But now you took it off. You don't know what to do again.
Very funny. Yeah. Now let's lastly go to the Guardian newspaper for today, and the banner headline here has it that killings, police, vigilante tighten security around traditional rulers, and also we have on the downstream of the same newspaper, stakeholders commend Tinubu governor move to create a state police, and also court orders AGF to reopen prosecution of Dele Giwa's alleged killers. Barrister, let's take a look at the issue of tightening the security of people I would call the sacred cows, traditional rulers. Is that the solution to creating the type of security we want in our community, if only that would be reserved for the traditional rulers?
Well, I think traditional rulers are majorly very lukewarm about their own security and the security of the entire place. Before the coming of the colonial master, it was only the traditional rulers that presided over the communities. Okay? So if we don't have any other government other than the traditional government, so they will not be able to manage them. So is that what it is? So they are killing them now. Largely because they too have not been very security conscious about managing the affairs of their different. That is their point. Through the traditional rulers, the stools, that is the most viable angle to arrest security situation in Nigeria. Yes, if you have a traditional ruler that knows what he's doing, he should be able to use that to. So it calls for the state police. The issue of state police has arisen again. From that, the debate and all that, the whole noise they made the other time, Moteko, Eastern Security Network, the other one ISBA, and all that. At that time, the West, they were very loud about it, the Southwest.
Yeah.
But the Amoteku appears not to be a solution.
Exactly.
Yes. See, I've not seen much that have come out of that. So maybe because it's not, maybe because the hand of the federal government is not in it, I don't know. But we've not seen that. The traditional rulers should be able to come up with their own security apparatus first and foremost. They should be able to organize their people in a way that they will defend their territory before whatever it is the state government want to even do in terms of organizing state police, or before we now address the constitution and now have a proper state police. You understand? The local government should have the institution of the, because they get allocation from the local government. These traditional rulers, they get allocation from the local government. So the question you ask yourself is, what do they do with these allocations? And how are they able to administer that? So sometimes you find out that these traditional rulers, most times, are also failed politicians. Yes, many of them are failed politicians. Some of them, I know some of them who were one time, who, by virtue of following politicians and supporting politicians and all that, and when there's no space for them,
they were combined.
Then they use traditional kingship to compensate them. That's in communities where they have a very weak traditional system, not like in my community where it is the deity that will choose the leaders and no one can interfere. You understand? So in this particular case, they must deal with their situation because they're already feeling like, these traditional rulers, they're already feeling helpless like governors. These traditional rulers, very soon they'll start to tell you that we don't have security. Federal government should bring security to us. That kind of talk that the governors, the way the governors will tell you that because they don't have control over the police, they cannot summon the CP. The CP is answerable to the IG, and the IG is answerable to the president. So the traditional rulers, they've already developed that looking up to Abuja everybody, and that is a problem. Otherwise, they can actually get their people together and secure the environment for the purposes of the people, but they are not doing that.
Now, what's your take on state policing?
Well, state policing is important that we have it because, like I said, these traditional stools and institutions, state policing will give us a better way of guarding society because you are going to recruit people from their own environments. And because they are coming from, they know who is what in those environments. So if there is any external forces or whatever it is that is coming, kidnapping and all that, they will better manage the situation in arresting perpetrators than the ones where the federal government will have to ration the police force and give them dirty pickups. They never wash their pickups. Give them dirty. All of them are, most times they are not where they are supposed to be, and that's why the kidnappers succeed. You understand? So let us have a system that works. The federal government can even design this police, state police into a point where you have local government police, you now have the state police. So the local government will supplement the local government will supplement the state police. Then we'll now have the federal police. That's how it is in the U.S. Exactly. We have to do something very fast.
All right, that's just about the time we have for our newspaper review today. I'd love to say thank you to Barrister Evans Ofeli for being part of our show. Though we will oblige you, make yourself present for our main conversation.
You're welcome.
All right. So when we return, cost of living crisis, NLC to embark on a nationwide protest. That in a bit when we come back. Please don't go anywhere.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.